Ever wondered what the most overlooked American muscle cars really are? We've all heard endless stories about the 1970 Hemi Cuda and the big block Chevelle SS. Those are the usual suspects that dominate bench racing sessions and collector auctions. Clean, original examples now routinely break the $100,000 barrier. But here's the truth from someone who spent over 20 years hunting, restoring, and studying classic American iron. You don't need six-figure money to own a legitimate piece of muscle car history. If the headline cars are out of reach, don't worry. There are far rarer, more unique machines hiding in plain sight. These overlooked gems combine atypical body styles with serious factory muscle hardware underneath. In my experience, they're often sitting quietly in private garages or tucked in the corner of a small dealership lot that's more focused on selling new Ford F-150s than that dusty old car in the back. These models are still out there. You just need to know exactly what to look for. Today, as a muscle car specialist, I'm ranking the top 7 most overlooked American muscle cars that truly deserve far more attention from collectors and enthusiasts. These aren't just rare, they're fascinating, story-rich, and in many cases still realistically restorable. Buckle up. Starting at No. 7. Coming in at number 7 is a genuine early 60s sleeper that most enthusiasts completely sleep on. The 1962 Pontiac Catalina 389 Tri-Power 4-speed convertible. The Pontiac Catalina isn't the first name that pops into your head when you think muscle car, but that's exactly why it belongs on this list. In 1962, Pontiac had massive engines, but no GTO yet to showcase them. Instead, that serious performance hardware went into the full-size lineup, and this Catalina convertible is one of the rarest expressions of that era. We're talking about the legendary 389 cubic inch V8 topped with Pontiac's famous tri-power setup, 3 two-barrel carburetors feeding a 10.75, 1 compression engine. An expert trim with the factory E3.90, 1 gears and posy traction rear end. This car was a legitimate street fighter dressed in full-size luxury clothing. Very few were ordered with the 4-speed manual, making this combination exceptionally scarce today. In my 20-plus years chasing rare Pontiacs, I can tell you these tri-power Catalinas are far more special than their full-size body suggests. They deliver that addictive early 60s torque and sound that modern restorations often fail to capture. You won't see one at every Cars and Coffee event. In fact, you'll be lucky to see one at major shows. That rarity, combined with the convertible body style, gives it a presence that's hard to match. This isn't just another pretty full-size Pontiac. It's a hidden performance icon from the dawn of the muscle car era. If you find a solid example, don't hesitate. These are still undervalued compared to their GTO siblings, and they deliver serious bang for the buck in both performance and uniqueness. That's No. 7. Now let's move up the list. Moving up to No. 6. We have a Mopar monster that flies way under the radar. The 1967 Dodge Coronet R/T 426 Hemi hardtop. The Coronet name dates all the way back to the late 1940s. But it wasn't until the late 60s that Dodge turned this family sedan into a serious performance weapon. The R/T road/track package signaled that this was no ordinary Coronet. Under the hood sat the legendary 426 Hemi, a 425 horsepower beast that could absolutely dominate both the street and the strip. What makes this car special is its perfect blend of understated hardtop styling and raw Hemi power. In 1967, it wasn't as flashy as the Charger, yet it delivered the same ferocious performance in a cleaner, more sleeper-like package. Very few buyers checked all the right boxes. The 426 Hemi, 4-speed or torque flight, and the full R/T treatment. From my years restoring and evaluating Mopars, I can tell you the 1967 Coronet R/T Hemi is one of the best-kept secrets in the Dodge lineup. It has the same legendary engine as the more expensive and hyped-up models, but without the sky-high price tag. The body lines are elegant yet aggressive. And when you pop the hood and that dual snorkel air cleaner appears, people's jaws still drop today. These cars are rare enough that sightings are events, not everyday occurrences. They offer incredible performance, period-correct muscle, and investment potential that's still reasonable compared to Hemi Cudas or Chargers. If you're a Mopar fan looking for something different that still turns heads and runs with the big dogs, this Coronet deserves serious consideration. That's no. 6. Let's keep climbing. Sliding into the no. 5 spot is one of the rarest early factory-injected Chevrolets you've probably never heard of. The 1959 Chevrolet Impala 283 Fuelie Sport Coupe. Chevrolet introduced fuel injection, affectionately called Fuelie, on the 1957 Corvette. And by 1958 to 59, it was available on selected full-size models. While most buyers flocked to the new 348 CI big block W engines, especially the 315 horsepower Tri-Power versions, a handful of savvy customers stuck with the advanced Rochester mechanical fuel injection system on the smaller 283 CI V8. The result? Fewer than 30 Fuelie-powered cars were built across the entire 1959 lineup, and even fewer were Impala Sport Coupes. This made the 283 Fuelie Impala an instant rarity, a sophisticated, high-revving small-block screamer wrapped in one of the most beautiful body designs of the decade. In my experience tracking rare Chevrolets, these Fuelie cars are mechanical works of art. The Rochester injection system is temperamental but delivers crisp throttle response and a unique sound that big blocks simply can't match. Paired with the 1959 Impala's iconic batwing rear styling, chrome galore, and sleek sport coupe roofline, this car is pure late 50s elegance with hidden performance teeth. Most collectors chase the flashy 348 and 409 Impalas, completely overlooking this fuel-injected gem. That's exactly why it belongs on this list. Original Fuelie Impalas are exceptionally hard to find today, and well-documented examples carry serious collector appeal without the insane prices of later muscle icons. If you're looking for a car that stands out at any show while offering a genuine connection to Chevrolet's early performance experiments, this 1959 Impala 283 Fuelie is a masterpiece waiting to be appreciated. That's no. 5. Moving on to the top 4. Climbing into the no. 4 position is a true insider sleeper that even many die-hard Chevy fans miss. The 1970 Chevrolet Nova LT1 Copo. While most people know about the wild Yenko Deuces built from central office production order cars, several Copo Novas quietly slipped through the system and landed at regular performance-oriented dealerships. Using the special Copo 9010 order code, Chevrolet was able to factory install the scorching solid lifter LT1 350 CI small block, rated at 360 horsepower, into the humble Nova platform. These cars came with the heavy-duty 4-speed transmission, 4.10, 1 gears, and posy traction rear end. No flashy graphics. No wild hood scoops. Just a plain-looking Nova that could embarrass far more expensive machinery. In my decades of evaluating and restoring Chevrolets, the non-Yenko LT1 Copo Nova ranks as one of the purest factory sleepers ever built. It has the same high-revving, free-breathing LT1 engine that made the 1970 Corvette legendary, but in a lighter, more agile package. The result is explosive acceleration and nimble handling that still surprises drivers today. Because they look so ordinary, many have been overlooked, neglected, or even hot-rod beyond recognition, making genuine, documented examples extremely rare. This car perfectly embodies the spirit of the muscle car era. Stealth power delivered through clever factory ordering. While Yenko cars now command huge money, these stealth Copo Novas still offer a more attainable entry into serious 1970 Chevy performance with far greater uniqueness. If you ever spot a plain 1970 Nova with the telltale Copo paperwork or LT1 markings, pay attention. You might be looking at one of the greatest hidden performance bargains left in the muscle car world. That's no. 4. We're now entering the top 3. just missing the top two and taking the no. 3 spot is a ferocious Pontiac that's often overshadowed by its flashier siblings, the 1968 Pontiac Firebird Ram Air 2. When most people hear 1968 Firebird, they immediately picture the Trans Am. But the real hidden hero of that year is the Ram Air 2. In 1968, Pontiac was getting beaten on the streets and strips by big block Chevelles and Hemi Cudas. Their response was brilliant. They took the 400 CI Ram Air engine and upgraded it with special round exhaust port D-port heads, higher compression, a radical cam, and every trick they could legally get away with for NHRA stock class racing. The result was a high-revving, 400 revolutions per minute screamer that made serious power and could be ordered with a 4-speed or even a heavy-duty automatic. Factory 4.33:1 gears were available, an absolute beast on the drag strip. Production was tiny. Fewer than 104 speeds, and reportedly under 10 with that crazy 4.33 rear end. After restoring and driving multiple first-generation Firebirds, I can confidently say the Ram Air 2 is one of the most underrated performance packages Pontiac ever built. It has that raw, aggressive 60s attitude with a sound and power delivery that feels more like a race car than a street machine. The styling is pure first-gen beauty. Yet it packs the hardware to run with the big dogs while looking relatively innocent. These cars were built to take punishment and win races, which is why so few survive in original condition. Because they're not the headline Trans Am or GTO. They remain significantly more affordable and attainable than their reputation suggests, a genuine sleeper in every sense of the word. If you're a Pontiac guy or gal looking for something authentic, rare, and ridiculously fun, the 1968 Ram Air 2 Firebird deserves to be at the top of your wish list. That's no. 3. Now let's head to the runner-up. Taking the runner-up spot at no. 2 is a sleek, aerodynamic Mopar that most collectors completely overlook, the 1970 Dodge Charger 500. The Charger 500 first earned its reputation in 1969 as a special NASCAR homologation model with its unique flush rear window and aerodynamic nose. What many people don't realize is that it returned in 1970 as a regular production trim level, sitting below the R/T in the lineup. You could order it with the Special Edition package or the potent 383 CI V8. And while the R/T officially got the 440 and 426 Hemi, the Charger 500 still delivered serious performance in a cleaner, more refined package. Equipped with the 383 Magnum producing 335 horsepower, unique Coronet-style grille, and that distinctive flush rear glass. The 1970 Charger 500 combined graceful fastback styling with real muscle car capability. It wasn't as wild-looking as the Daytona, which makes it far more usable and practical as a daily classic today. After years of appraising and restoring Chargers of every variety, I consider the 1970 Charger 500 one of the most underrated body styles Dodge ever produced. It has the same legendary Mopar DNA as its more expensive siblings, but with smoother lines and a more sophisticated presence. The car drives beautifully, sounds incredible, and turns heads precisely because it's not the expected wing car. Low production numbers and the fact that many were optioned as relatively tame street cars mean pristine, well-documented examples are surprisingly difficult to find. This is the perfect sleeper Charger for the enthusiast who wants something different, a car that looks elegant at a cruise night, but can still embarrass modern traffic when you put your foot down. It offers excellent investment upside because it's still flying under the radar of mainstream collectors. That's no. 2. And now, for the most overlooked muscle car on our entire list. And finally, claiming the top spot as the most overlooked American muscle car is an absolute masterpiece of factory ingenuity. The 1966 Oldsmobile Cutlass 442W 30L69 with outside air induction, OAI. In 1966, Oldsmobile built just 54 official W-30 30 cars to homologate them for NHRA stock drag racing. Each one was equipped with a high-output 400 CI V8 L69 code, breathing through 3 two-barrel carburetors and the legendary outside air induction system, twin cold air snorkels that fed cooler, denser air directly into the engine. To make room for the massive air cleaner assembly, the battery was relocated to the trunk. The remaining OAI kits were sold over the counter as the famous Track Pack, allowing dealers to create even more W-30 equipped 4-4-2S using regular production cars. The result? An extremely rare, high-revving tri-power monster that looked like a mild-mannered Cutlass but ran like a purpose-built racer. Fewer than 100 true 4-speed examples exist, and documented dealer-installed OAI W-30 cars are unicorn-level rare. After spending years researching Oldsmobile history and restoring multiple 4-4-2S, I firmly believe the 1966 W-30 L69 OAI is the single greatest hidden gem in all of American muscle. It perfectly captures the pure spirit of the 60s, factory engineers pushing the rules with clever tricks, delivering massive performance in a clean, understated A-body package. The sound of that tri-power 400 gulping cold air through the snorkels is addictive. The power delivery is explosive, and the rarity is undeniable. While everyone chases GTOs and Hemi cars, this Olds remains criminally underappreciated and undervalued. It offers everything a serious collector wants: documented rarity, incredible performance, stunning 60s styling, and a story most people have never heard. If you ever get the chance to own or even drive one of these, take it. In my expert opinion, the 1966 Oldsmobile Cutlass 442W 30 OAI isn't just the most overlooked muscle car, it's one of the very best. That wraps up our top 7 most overlooked American muscle cars. These machines prove that you don't need the biggest name or the highest price tag to own something truly special. Do you agree with the ranking? Which rare muscle car would you add to this list? Drop your thoughts below. I read every comment. Until next time, keep hunting those hidden gems, and I'll catch you on the next one.